Hello, here's your free printable for today that I've made especially for this group. I will be putting a kit together for sale in my Etsy shop. So here's the freebie. You get 2 hands, 2 hearts, some extra little bits of paper and this piece of paper lace down here. And with that you can make, ta-da, these lovely things. That we've got one here that slots into this tab, into this little slit here. We've got one here that folds and opens with a little slit at the bottom for fastening. And we've got one here that I've made a little tab for that's got its own little tuck spot at the front, like that. And that's just simply glued down, so you've got a little slot that you can place behind there. So carry on watching and we'll find out how I put these together. So this is the page that you get on the Facebook group, Free Junk Journal Printables and Tutorials. This is printed on an A4 sheet, but I always allow sufficient margins down the edge here for all our American friends to be able to print at 100% without losing any of the image size, because I know that can sometimes be a problem. So here's some cut out, some of the little hearts as well. Now I've got this one. This is a traditional Victorian kind of decoration. I'll show you how to do that at the end, but first I want to go and have a look at some other ways that we can use these. Now this one I've done already, and all I've done here is cut a slit there, 2 slits, so that I've got a little band there that I can pop that in. And then I've got, now then this one, I was thinking I could make a little, I could make this into a flap this way, so this would open up to reveal something underneath. And to do that, I would simply score across the top here with my scoring board and glue the top down, and then I've got this flap that would open up. Ditto the side, like that, so I could have it opening this way. And one of the things I could do, I could either score down here and glue along that scored edge, so then that would open up, or I could make a hinge, which I'll just quickly do here with a little piece of paper just to demo it. Fold that in half. I then glue 1/2 onto the edge of my heart here. It wouldn't have to be that big if you didn't want it to be. One edge onto the heart, glue there, position where I wanted it to be, and then I've got a little opening space there when that was glued down, if that makes sense. But I'm not going to do that for this one, because what I want to do here is quite simply glue that in place. I could score there so that this would open, but I don't want to do that. I want to just very, very simply, and I'll show you why, just glue this little bottom section here. Because what I want to do with this one, position it where I think it might look nice, about there, a little bit lower perhaps there. Because what I want to do with that one is quite simply have a little tuck spot that's loose, so that I can pop a couple of other little bits in there. And I think that is really, really sweet. So you've got the hand and the heart holding these little whatevers that you might decide to tuck underneath. Go under! There we go. I'm holding on because the glue's not dry. There we go. So that's that. I really, really like that as an idea. These little bits, by the way, came from my botanic layered tags kit that's available on Etsy. And I made up the tags. There's a video on my YouTube channel, I'll link to that as well. And I had so many things left over that I made this folio for it. And I keep all my little pre-cut bits and bobs in there, and I love it. It's just a really great resource for any of these kinds of little things. So I'll give you all the links and you can have a look at those if you want to. So that's that one done. I'm very happy with that. What I'm going to do with this one, make it into a little folding tuck spot. So we're using 2 of the techniques that I've just talked about. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to score just across the top of the heart, making sure I've got my scoring board and not my guillotine, because that sometimes happens. Try and get that level. I'll have to do that by eye. There we go, just score across the top here. And give it a fold. Then I'm going to glue to where I think I want it to be. I think I'll put it there. So I'll just pop a little bit of glue on the back of these top sections only. And pop that down. Okay, get it straight. There we go. Now down here, I'm just going to make a little slit. I could make 2 slits, couldn't I? That would be a bit of a fiddle when it comes to actually slotting the heart behind. So what I'm going to do is just give myself a little pencil mark, if I've got a pencil. There we are. I'll put it about here. I don't want too much of the heart covered up. Actually, I think I'll go level with that and just have the very tip tucked in. No, I'll go there. Let's have a little bit more. So I've got 2 little points there and they're nicely lined up with that line. So I'll just fold this out of the way now. Make a cut. You can use a ruler if you want. So there we go. So there's the little slit. So we'll just have a little play with that just to loosen that off a little bit. And then our heart will tuck. First couple of times it's always a little bit tricky. Our heart will tuck in there like that. There we go. So now we've got a nice little, we've got a tuck spot. This again is out of the Botanic Layered Tags kit. There's all sorts of little bits of lovely ephemera in there. That would tuck under there. And also I've got a lovely little folding spot. I could put something on there as well. So there they are. There's those 3. I'm going to just quickly make a little tag for this. Now you could use these in your journals or whatever. Now these come with these extra little bits. Let's show you here. They come with these extra little bits and bobs. So you've got a bit of lace and you've got a bit of matching paper to go with the hearts. So that's one of those. Now what I've done here is with my little scallop tool, little scallop cutter, I've just cut a bit there, which is just wide enough, which is nice. So I thought on this one, I'd glue it on. I'd make a bit of a longer hand for this one, so I could elongate that. So I'll glue this onto the bottom. Just glue the very edge of my hand here. Line this up. Just glue a little bit over so I'm lengthening. So it's got a bit of a more of an elegant elongated wrist. And then I'll just cut that by eye, following the line of the wrist. Yeah, there we go. So that's that. You also get this little bit of lace, this little bit of paper lace on the free printable as well. So I could pop a little bit of that over the top if I wanted to. I think I will. I'll glue down over the top of this, just there. Pop that on. I've already inked these up. There we go. And then turn that over. Put in a little tag. So you could put this in a journal pocket. You could use one of these to make your pocket with. So you've got that there. You've got your little bit of lace on there. So there's your nice little pocket that you could glue into a journal page. I'm going to do a similar thing, but with a tag. This I've cut from a sheet of A4 craft card, like that. I've inked up the edges, trimmed those off just by eye, folded up the bottom section, and this, by some strange twist of fate, was just perfectly the right size to give me a bit of matting. So I'm going to stick this on. Now I originally was going to stick it all down, but being a lover of a tuck spot, I like to get as many of those in as I possibly can. So I'm just going to glue on around 3 edges, pop that on. There we are. I'm going to glue up this edge here. And there I have a sweet little tag. Obviously I can carry on with the decoration, hole punch it, get a brad in there, an eyelet in there, whatever I want to do, and some ribbon and so on. But you get the idea. That is my beautiful little pocket. Of course I can go across with this lace, which I definitely would do. Oh, I'm going to do that now. I'll trim that off to where I know it needs to be. That's quite a heavy craft card. It's going to take a while to grab. And I'll make sure I don't glue this little pocket shut. Pop that on. Very sweet indeed. I've got these little cinema tickets. I can use those from the layered tags kit. Pop those in my pocket. And then we have a sweet little tag, which is based on this Victorian, lovely little Victorian sentiment here. I've got a little bit of lace, a little bit of cotton lace. I was going to glue that on to the bottom of this one. I do like cotton lace. There, how sweet are those little things there. Look, and that's your freebie. Great. Check out my Etsy shop. I've got lots and lots of things on there, and keep checking back to the Facebook group because there's always something new, always something happening. Lots of freebies for you, lots of tutorials from Jamie, wonderful stuff going on. Okay, lastly, I'm just going to demo this interesting little fixing technique. That's this Victorian tradition where I guess they would have used a piece of sheet music or newsprint or whatever, a little scrap of paper, just to make this little bit of affection. So all we need to do, it's ever so simple, a little bit of a fiddle, but it's really ever so simple, is fold our two pieces in half. I'm using squares for this, just for the sake of demoing it. But what I could do, to show you, and it's something a little more interesting I guess, is just cut these into a heart shape. There we go. Not particularly keen on that heart shape. Let's trim that down a little bit more, take some of the fatness off it. I like a nice narrow straight edged heart. It's got that folk art feel about it. There we go, that'll be better. No, I like that much better. I'm simply going to put them both together like this, and I am going to cut 1, 2, 3 little slits into the heart like that. Then I'm going to turn one of them upside down. Which one would we like to have in the front? I'm thinking the pink one. And then it's just a simple case of having a little bit of a fiddle and popping your top slit goes through there. Your middle one you can push through there. And that is basically it. If you want to go one step further, which I will, you can then push this piece underneath. You can use a little bit of a tool if you want to. Pop. It's a fiddle. It is a fiddle, but it's great. It's not difficult. It's just a little bit fiddly. And once you've got the hang of it and you know what you're doing, there we go. So that's basically it. That's what that is. Interesting little fixing technique I thought you might like to have a look at. So there we are. I do hope you've enjoyed this little demo. Check out Jamie on YouTube. She's got so many fabulous tutorials. I've got a few. I'm building them up slowly. I've also got an Etsy shop that's absolutely jam-packed full of my creative junk journal, printable kits, etc. And I look forward to speaking to you again soon.